Hello again, and it's a beautiful spring day here, and I've decided that since the summer, let's wait for the clock to quit playing, but the summer is part of You Decorated My Life. How beautiful. Perfect song for this. It's part of birthday time for my grandchildren, so I'm going to make a birthday card for my teenager grandson, who's not into the sweetsy little hearts and flowers. And so we're going to start, I hope you can hear me over this clock, with Close to My Heart, basic black cardstock. I think it's midnight or something like that. And this is an A2 size card, which means it's 5.5 inches this way and 4 1/4 this way, and we're going to make it landscape style rather than portrait style. Okay, so that's going to be the base of the card, and the first layer is turquoise, and it's cut at 5 1/4 by 4, but I'm going to do something a little different with it. I'm going to use a fancy little corner punch that I bought, and unfortunately Close to My Heart doesn't sell it, but other companies do. And I'm gonna cut out, it's a kind of a like this. Gotta make sure I get it in there this time. Didn't get it in too good, did I? Let's get over here out of the limelight. Oh, much better. Much, much better. Sometimes these corner stamps, this is a big one too, you don't get them right in the middle. That's okay. You don't get a good punch. I seldom use these, but I like this one. So here's the stamp. Here's the mark so I can keep my stuff in frame. But here's the stamp. And this is that corner punch. Oops. And this is going to go right on this card here. There's my adhesive right here. And this is a quickie card because he doesn't like, see, I have to put the thing. This piece is 5 1/4 by 4 inches because of the and I'm not popping it up or anything, just sticking it on. Okay, I'm going to bring it over by me so I can center it. You can look at the blue dot for a while. Okay, there it is right there. This next piece, everything is a 1/4 inch less. So this piece is 5 by 3 1/4, and it's not going to be punched. Well, maybe it is, because I think I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. Okay, this white piece ended up, because of my punching, being 4 by 3 3/4. If you weren't going to punch the corners, even if you were just going to round the corners, you could still do it at 5 by 4 3/4, but or 5 by 3 3/4. But this way, I had to adjust it. So let me put the tape on this, and would have helped if I'd made this first. I cut everything, but then I didn't allow for the punching. Okay, now let's just, I'm going to bring it over here so I can see it. Okay, you have a card that looks like that. Let's turn it right side up so it's acceptable. Okay, there you go. Then I'm going to use some of the colored pencils from Close to My Heart. They look like this. these are watercolor pencils. So actually, you color them on and then dip your brush in water if you want that watercolor effect. We're going to try the watercolor effect. You can just use regular markers, or you can use just regular colored pencils. But because I had these and I wanted to show you how they work, I decided to use it. And I'm just going to scribble some stuff on here. And you lay it on pretty heavy so it'll show up the color good. Okay, let's see, next to that I'll put a yellow. Sort of yellow, sort of gold too. And you don't need to make it even because this is all going to go blend. I'm going to blend mine. Okay, and I'm going to put a green. Hopefully these don't clash too much with this turquoise. This color here is Lagoon, by the way, in case I didn't say. But these are the watercolored pencils that you can get from Close to My Heart, and they're cool. I like to use them. And actually, I don't use them as much as I should. Okay, I'm going to fill in this ochre here a little bit better. They come in two types, the brights and the more muted neutral type things. Okay, and these are the brights. Okay, and the last one's going to be pink. He won't mind pink. He wears pink every now and then. Okay. There you go. I'll get a good, maybe put this down a little bit more too here, and maybe even put a little bit more here. Okay, now we got a good base for the thing. Then I just get a brush that looks like this and wet it. And I don't wet it too much. Dip it in some water and pull it down just to give it a wash. Okay, and then in between colors you should rinse it because otherwise it will blend together some. There we go. Oops, I don't like that. There. And after you do this, before you stamp anything, you do have to let it dry. So I'll just go like that. And it gives a really nice, subtle effect, I think. And if your brush gets too damp, which mine did just then, and this I'm going to blend a little and see if it turns slightly lavender. It may. There we go. All right. Brush this a little too. Okay, that is done. Now I've got to sit 15 minutes or so and let the wash dry before I can stamp on it. So I'll be back as soon as it's dried. Thanks. Don't go away. Okay. We have gotten the paper dry, and so I don't know if you can see this probably. I've got a stamp here that says "Oh Happy Day." It's from stamp number D1529. Has some cupcakes and so forth on it. The Happy Birthday was way too big, but this was from the Artiste collection that goes with the Cricut Artiste cartridge. So I'm going to just stamp this. Gosh, let's get it upside down. And it's a pretty, oh gee, what a mess I'm making here. It's an opaque stamp. I hope I can get it all. Okay. Let's wipe this corner off here though. And this one here. I got it on my thing, so I don't want that. Now, Oh Happy Days got to go this way. The thing was just a little long. Okay. And because this was, oh, wasn't that ugly? what did I do? Put it on upside down a bit. Well, that was ugly. A lesson learned. Don't put your stamps upside down. But this one is hard to tell. Wash it off and see. Well, as you can see what I did, I had my stupid stamp upside down. But two can play that game. I've got another piece of white cardstock. My stamp is right side up now. I'm going to remove this, put it over here where it needs to be stamped. And I shall prove to you that I'm not quite as dumb as I look. For one thing, I'm not going to ink this whole thing up as much as I did before. Okay, and I'm going to stamp it again right like this. It doesn't really matter because I got to cut this out. Ah! Will wonders never cease? So now we shall put a replacement stamp on this lovely thing. And I'm going to cut it out real quick. Oh, geez. One thing good, this is a banner. So I can cut it and not have to do fancy lines. It's the one bright thing I did in this debacle. All right, here. My shakies are getting me. Okay. I don't think I'll use pop dots though, because I'll be able to see the mess up I did underneath. Let me put it out more in front of me so I can finish cutting this out. It's hard when you don't have a good space to work. But you can see some of these stamps, if they're filled in a lot with ink spots, ink places, you can't tell which is the right side up and which is the not the right side up. Okay. All right. Uh-oh. It's not going to work right like that, is it? Oh, that's the way it's going to go. Whether he likes it or not, that's the way it's going to go. I wanted to do it like this. Well, it's not going to work. So I'm just going to do it like this. But as you can see, it would have looked pretty if I'd done it right. Now it looks like some sort of fish with a sign on it. But, all right, let me get my quick glue on there. And he'll just think I did it on purpose. He doesn't care anyway. But be careful which side your stamp lettering is on if you got one of these banner type things, because it is hard to tell sometimes, and obviously I didn't check. Okay. Let's see what I can do. I could have just covered that up, but I didn't want to do it. So let's just put it on like that. Oh, happy day. And he'll think I did the whole thing on purpose. As long as there's a gift card inside, he's not going to care. And then I'm going to put 3 sequins down at the bottom, silver sequins. And they've got some sticky on them. They've got some sticky on them, but I don't trust it. So I'm going to put little dabs of glue. And my little backwards pinchy tweezers. And if you don't have any of those, I can't live without mine. Took me a while to figure out you gotta pinch them backwards. My husband, first time he picked them up, he dropped them all over the place. All right, one. They are pretty sticky though, I will admit. They don't want to come off the tweezers. Or get on the tweezers for that matter. Stick it out with my finger. Two, and I'm going to move it over a little bit like that. There. And three. I swear, I'm going to put eyeballs in there and make it look like a fish. Okay. Boop, boop. There you go. A very unique card. But I think I will put an eye right in the middle of there and make it look like a fish. And he'll think, oh, well, good. Because he's a fisherman. I'll probably draw with a little black ink some fins. When you make a mistake, as Bob Ross used to say, make it a happy little accident. So there you are. It's a masculine Happy Day card. Try the watercolor pencils. They're really cool. And don't do what I did. Check your stamp once before you stamp it on your project. And but it turned out okay. And I wanted to show you the watercolor pencils and the punch. All right. Okay, here's my finished project. I'll bring it up closer so you can see. I put a Viva Decor white eye on the thing, on the what is going to be a fish now. Right up there, I put a top fin, I put little bottom fin. And so now it looks like a fisherman's card. Yay! Happy little accidents make for wonderful little cards. He'll never know.